And now, your first alert weather.
We've been seeing some of those darker clouds building over the foothills and parts of the Snake River Plain this afternoon. The thunderstorm risk is still with us here for this evening, although it's looking pretty dry out there. As we take a look also at First Alert Viper radar. Right now in Idaho Falls, we got 68 degrees. Winds out of the west at 6 miles an hour. Pocatello, Farm Bureau Skycam. Plenty of sunshine. We've got 68 with winds out of the west at 11. Winds are much lower in speed today compared to yesterday. And then we go to Salmon right now. We got some clouds overhead, 62 degrees with winds out of the north at 5 miles an hour. We're still at risk to see a few thunderstorms for this evening. A couple of light showers possible. And in Jackson, the same scenario. We got some clouds overhead. We're at 60 degrees with light winds at 6 miles an hour. Most of the heavy wet weather still east of our region, but we just got a few isolated thunderstorms still with us here as I take you over to live sweeping Viper radar. We're getting a couple of those thunderstorms here on the outskirts of Teton County and Madison County, also south of St. Anthony, getting a couple of those darker clouds there producing some light moisture. And we're seeing also just on the outskirts of Rexburg to the west towards the sand dunes in St. Anthony there, we've got a couple of thunderstorms trying to put down some wet weather. But it's fairly dry out there. The reason why we have the minor thunderstorm threat here for today is we're still in the tail end of that cold front that came through yesterday with another disturbance rolling out of Canada this afternoon. Most of the wet weather well across Utah and central and eastern Wyoming this evening, and we're just kind of on the end of this guy here for the thunderstorm threat for tonight. We will see some of this moisture try to work back in for Friday, mostly into the mountains. But our attention now turns to the west coast. High pressure nudging in here to California and Oregon, trying to warm us back up. But we have this guy up here coming out of the Gulf of Alaska that's going to work down from the northwest. Saturday's looking pretty nice here. We're going to be dealing with partly cloudy skies, a low risk of thunderstorms on Saturday with warmer temperatures. But it's this area of low pressure that's going to get us here for Sunday and Monday. This is going to drop in some colder air. It's also going to pick up on the shower chances for Sunday and Monday, and it gets a little bit cold, pretty chilly going into the overnight hours starting off for next week. A check of that Vipercast tonight. We have the isolated thunderstorm threat clearing out with a lot of wet weather well across central Wyoming. Tomorrow morning, it's going to be a pretty nice start to the day. Then we see the thunderstorms starting to roll back in. There's a chance for some thunderstorms getting into the Snake River Plain. Good chances of wet weather, though, around the Tetons, areas close to Driggs and Jackson, and areas of eastern Bonneville County. Also, a few spotty thunderstorms across central Idaho. Then we get to Friday night. We'll clear out. Clouds roll back in for Saturday. Saturday's going to be partly cloudy, warm temperatures with the occasional thunderstorm, and you'll definitely see the mountains picking up on that thunderstorm risk, like Yellowstone National Park, with highs this weekend in the 50s for Friday and Saturday, and about a 40 to 50% chance of a thunderstorm, and of course some gustier winds from those thunderstorms if they do develop. 66 for the high in Montpelier tomorrow, 64 in Lava. We should get to a high of 68 in Swan Valley, 65 in Jackson, the upper 60s for Rexburg and St. Anthony tomorrow. 8-day forecast showing us highs in the upper 60s for Saturday, and we should get up to a 70 by Sunday, but we're dealing with thunderstorms in Jackson, off and on wet weather chances Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and those overnight lows falling back into the 30s. Moving over to Rexburg, we should have partly cloudy skies tomorrow, a couple thunderstorms in the mix for tomorrow, with highs in the mid-70s for Saturday. The winds are picking up over the weekend as we have that approaching area of low pressure from the northwest, and we again we'll look for those showers Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday of next week. 74 for Chow, 66 for Mackey, 67 in Ketchum, and Salmon's going to be very close to 80 degrees for tomorrow, and we'll be in the mid-70s for Saturday. The thunderstorm picking up for Father's Day. We have highs in the mid-60s for Sunday, lower 60s for Monday, and occasional thunderstorms thrown in there for Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Back into the Snake River Plain, we got highs at 72 in Blackfoot, 73 for Pocatello, and 74 towards Burley in the eastern Magic Valley, with lows all back to the 40s tonight. Here's your extended forecast. I'm calling for a slight risk of thunderstorms tomorrow afternoon, especially once we get past lunch about 2, 3 o'clock. And then as we head into Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, we have that area of low pressure working down in here from the northwest, and we're expecting to see temperatures dropping as we head to the start of the work week with the threat for some wet weather Sunday, Monday, with highs getting to the mid-60s by Tuesday. Similar story here for Idaho Falls, with highs dropping down to the upper 60s by Monday, and we have a pretty good chance of seeing some spotty thunderstorms Sunday and Monday. Todd, over to you.
Thanks, Michael. Consumer news now. Stocks rallied today, especially the Dow Jones Industrial Average. The Dow jumps 429 points. The Nasdaq gains 156, and the S&P 500 touched a fresh 13-month high. as investors bet that the Federal Reserve was close to being done raising interest rates. It adds 53 points. When we come back,